Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Rat's Nest. I'm your co-host, Kyle. Say hi to your actual host, Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
And I'm the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest.
True.
What do we got today, Kyle? That's what you always say. After you go, you always got to say what we got today.
I'm sorry. I'm still learning.
You're still learning. I gotta give you the script.
Yeah,
we're following the script perfectly. Every single video we do is scripted. Actually, that was in the script. This is in the script.
Look, I need the scripted pitch, okay?
But I can
tab without it. So today we have something very special. Chapter 3 of the JOJOLands.
Woo! Yeah, part 9. Funny part 9.
This was a good chapter. This was a nice chapter. I will say, this isn't like an inherent negative or anything. When Brandon and I, we read this and we read the Chainsaw Man chapter. Obviously, right? Like to compare the two, there was more enjoyment, like full-on enjoyment to be had with that because the arc that we're in is reaching like a big emotional climax. This is like the setup to an arc, so it was a bit slower, but it was still enjoyable. It was still a fun read.
Yeah, no, definitely. Kind of comparing it to the pace because I've been rereading JOJOLands. Kind of comparing it to that pace, it's pretty similar. I mean, chapter 1 of JOJOLands, I'd say, was slower paced than chapter 1 of the JOJOLands. But I think it's a good pacing. It's just I'm not used to monthly manga. It's been about 2 years since I read a monthly manga. So
yeah,
it's good to get back into, but it's always odd.
If this were a weekly or bi-weekly series, like the contents of this chapter, shortened down, it would make more sense here. But for a monthly one, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like with that monthly one, you expect a lot more to happen, but Araki's just cooking. He's just slowly cooking.
We're in this for a decade, so Araki can do what he wants.
This hors d'oeuvres.
He'll be like 75 by the time. How old is Araki right now?
I think he's 63. Real quick,
that sounds about right. Yeah, bro will be about like 73 or 75 or whatever when he finishes this.
62. He was born in June 7th, 1960.
Well, there you go. But yeah. No, I enjoyed this chapter. More goodness from the JoJo crew.
Let me get back to that chapter tab. So, where is it? Okay, here it is. Yeah, we got chapter 3, Find the Diamond in the Mansion. So, shall we just dive right into it?
So, this chapter is a lot of kind of sneaking around. We get some funny JoJo moments. I quite like JoJo.
Sneaking?
Whoa, no freaking way. JoJo Higashikata confirmed.
He has a cousin named Yoshikage.
Guys, why is no one talking about this?
Can we real quick, like, what the context for that is?
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's the best tweet ever tweeted, where someone was reading JOJOLands chapter 1 and saw the panel where it's the Joestar family tree, and with like Jody and Dragona on it, and they were like, guys, why is no one talking about the fact that JoJo has a cousin named Yoshikage Kira? His ass is not reading JOJOLands, bro.
Also, one thing I remembered from JOJOLands that was probably got to be changed. I believe at one point they say that Holly is the only child from Joestar.
It'll be interesting to see if they change that, because they have been making some changes.
Yeah, Barbara Ann exists. Joshifumi losing the Joestar birthmark. So many theories gone out the window then.
In shambles, and it's just a mistake. Like Araki giving Lisa the birthmark in that one art.
Forgot about that.
Funny. But yeah, no, it was a nice little sneak arc. We got some good little character moments around where Paco and Usagi just kind of steal stuff. They're all looking for the safe.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I like the beginning of it where it's just JoJo sneaking around the pool. Like I love the panel of him just walking with Rohan just swimming. On the next page, we see that he like ducks behind one of the chairs that he has. He grabs the iPad, of course. JoJo the gamer. He grabs the iPad, and then he's thinking, he thinks to himself, "Bro, is this him? Is he actually him? This guy, the real deal?
Is this guy actually Saruki Higashikata? No way."
Well, that'll be interesting.
Hey, Kyle, so I wanted to ask you, right? Later in the chapter, we see the rocks. What do you think about the rocks?
You cut out for a second.
What do you think about the rocks?
You mean the rocks that were
The lava rocks. There's rocks in the safe. What do you think?
Oh, I isn't that a little bit later?
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're just hitting the high points here.
That's fair. That's fair. The rocks in the safe. Let me find that page. So, yeah, they're talking about it. I like that. Dude, he has to have seen Breaking Bad where he goes, actually, that's a flask.
That's a flask.
Oh my god, this is the actual translation. Basically, I'm saying a flask. He has to have seen Breaking Bad. Between that and the cop thing. Also, we get more Rohan dog pictures, and that's
from the spinoff.
Which is
what Rohan is this?
What is Araki cooking?
I think Rohan. I think this is Sarugi. I also think that this Rohan just kind of left dimensional boundaries, and that's why it's called the JOJOLands, because we're going back to the main universe with Irene.
If we went to the main universe, I think Araki could do it in a way that's interesting. I would just have to wait and see. But I kind of like the idea that this was SBR was Araki starting over, and that this was like him. You know, SBR is when he felt like he finally fully matured as a writer and artist and everything else alongside that. So I'd like to believe that they'll remain separate.
Yeah.
But if he brings it back, cool. So about like the lava rocks, I don't know. I mean, they could be rock human related. I don't understand why it would be. But then again, I mean, Rohan. I think it'd be cool if Rohan was doing like some investigations into certain things for his manga and stumbled into the rock humans and got involved that way. And maybe like we can learn more about rock humans. Like maybe more rock humans exist and there are different types of them. Like some are more like live in hotter volcanic zones, and that's what these are, remnants of them. I don't know. Just
maybe Rohan Kishibe himself is a rock human.
That would be
because he's a mangaka. You could go on hiatuses as a mangaka. Is Togashi a rock human? Bro slept for a while there for a while.
Yeah. So that's what that's kind of my theory. Maybe it is something pertaining to the rock humans. And I mean, I don't know. Could be something involving the diamond, but who knows? We'll just have to wait and see on that case. And then we get the stray cat. This dude, I love that beatbox.
That's so true.
Yeah, whose cat's been... So yeah, he's... Okay. Does he have a pet dog? He goes, if that's the case, then whose cat is this? That's a weird thing. Like, you could have a cat and a dog, but...
Yeah, so this cat isn't typically here.
This cat is stray.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stray cat that we have here, and it's alerting Rohan to the other's presence, while also having a seemingly string-like stand wrap around Paco's leg and Dragona's arm.
Yeah, and it tightens. Also, one detail that I like that Dragona refers to smooth operators as their children. I just think that that's a very interesting detail, and I kind of like that way of wording it.
It's a very interesting look at a colony stand.
It's so good having another colony stand.
What if this is such a crackpot? I guess it's not really a crackpot.
Are you better reach, Brandon? Are you better reach to the top shelf?
No, I'm really not, honestly. It's not that big of a reach. So, all right. We know that colony stands manifest whenever a person like isn't whole, right? Like that, it's like filling the void. Like the person isn't whole. That's what causes a colony stand to manifest.
So I'm thinking Keicho, Mista, Shigechi, Risotto. I'm probably missing like one or two more than the 11 men.
Yeah, that's so true. Food fighters, yeah.
Foo Fighters is a special case though.
Yeah, it's a stand of a colony. But so, right. We know that Dragona was born male and currently has a female look about him, despite using masculine pronouns with JoJo.
Are you thinking that this is like a reflection of the mental state?
What if Dragona were to be transgender or something similar? right? Want to be a woman. So it's very clear there's something of that going on here. What if him being biologically unable to have children caused a colony stand to form, who he then refers to as his kids?
Oh,
it's an interesting. I think that could be the case.
I don't know. I mean, I was gonna say I don't think it's a theory because I want to believe that that's true. Like,
yeah,
I mean, that's a good observation. I just thought it was a neat detail of like how some people put more value in their stands than others. Some see them as have means to ends. Others see them as some important part of them. So no, having it be that's a great way of wording it.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting if that's the thing, because I think Dragona is maybe a bit more of a character that, like, you know, Araki with Anasui originally wanted to have a character that, like, transcended gender or something, right?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people have pointed out that maybe Dragona is a continuation of that.
Yeah, maybe.
And so, I don't know if Araki wanted to handle the topic, he could tackle it like that. I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah. But moving on from that, we get the weird. I still want to know what November Rain does. Oh my god! I know it makes it.
Dude, it spins water really fast, and it affects gravity. It affects gravity, Kyle.
The first time I saw the cacti, I thought,
no freaking way.
Because the cacti look very weirdly shaped. So yeah, it starts raining. Rohan walks out, and then as he goes to grab his book, he goes ow, and then a little one of the spiny parts of the cacti shoots out and I guess like pokes him. And then the cat's still going around, and then I think there's one where Rohan says, "Wait, could it be?" I think Rohan's starting to pick up on a lot of stuff there. We get them getting the safe, and then this is the portion where they get attacked or they get the diamond.
Yeah, and then so we have the stray cat, who is likely okay. Do you think the cat is the user or the stand or a distraction?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Right, it has been a while, and I already know less fules could be referred to, but it's been a while since we've had a rock human counts too, and what I'm about to say, like a non-human stand user. I'm talking like Iki or Pet Shop.
Yeah.
Like it's been a while. I very well think it could be, but then again, I think the cat could be part of the ability.
I think the cat could, because the cat looked a little bit odd.
Yeah, the cat, I mean,
the ears, I think, looked a little bit odd for me.
Go to page 25.
Page 25.
Yeah, and then at the very bottom left, look at this cat. This does not look like a normal cat.
No, it's definitely odd, I believe.
I mean, its tail, look at it the entire time. Well, no, okay, sorry. Well, in most panels, its tail is straight in the air.
I think its ears are also weird. I mean, I don't know. It could just be Araki drawing a weird cat. But I think Araki is past his weird kind of like drawing. Like, at least with anatomy, he's typically pretty spot on nowadays.
Yeah. So then, you
got some weird hair with Toru. But we don't have any more of the abominations that were in part 6. Araki just really decided. Araki went through his little elf phase in part 6. It's the weirdest thing to just see people and like, oh yeah, their ears are pointed, because they are.
Yeah, so there were a few things in the translation where it's like, I kind of got the vibes of Beach Boy alongside, they said one of the things that made me think another stand. But yeah, so far they're just being attacked by this like string that's tightening around and constricting. And then it gets Usagi, but he jumps on. Then after that, okay, so it's like fishing wire. It's a translucent floating fishing wire. It's got to be the cat. The cat's up the string, went down the hallway. Where'd it go? There's no security system that works like this. That's a stand. Yeah, no. So they finally realize, oh shit, it's a stand attack. And then Rohan's also noticing that there's an attack, and then he notices about the rain.
And Jodio's like, uh-oh, Rohan's one of them that can see them.
That's such a weird wording. I don't get why he can't just say he's someone who can see stands.
I mean, do they even know the word stand? Usagi does. Usagi knows the word stand. But do we know if Dragona and Jodio do?
Let's look back and see.
I suppose it's quite possible. I don't know.
No, talking with Meryl May. I thought Jodio or Meryl May said yes. He's also a stand user.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I thought he did. Either way. Sorry, weird wording. But yeah. I wish there was more like finer detail to go into. I mean, there are some funny moments like you said.
Funny dialogue.
The dialogue interactions were mostly the highlights of this chapter. Like just getting to see the characters talk to each other. I really like the moment where Dragon goes, "Okay, guys, we can't steal. We got to stop stealing stuff." And it just shows them with like alcohol and watches.
So much stuff.
Well, because Paco's canonically a kleptomaniac.
Yeah, canonically. Paco's the best character in this, by the way. He dies halfway through. Hate to break it to you. Paco's dying.
Let me find that one page exactly. I just want to see it again. It's pretty funny.
But yeah. No, I mean, it was a good little chapter. It's a nice little intro to the stand fight. I'd say end of next chapter, we get confirmation as to who the stand user is, what the cat is. Maybe Rohan gets in on the action a little bit. Rohan is actually Tsurugi. Go check out last episode for more information on that.
I was thinking about this too. This is the first like stand battle arc where we've had like the most stand users involved.
This is the first stand battle arc since Wonder Review.
So true. But what I mean specifically is like looking at the beginnings of each of the JoJo parts whenever there are like stand battles. For the protagonists, it's been like Jotaro in the Jotaro versus Kakyoin, I guess can count either one.
It was Jotaro versus Avdol was the first one. Jotaro versus Avdol. Josuke versus Jotaro. Wow, Jotaro, you're so cool. How come you get two first fights? You have Giorno versus
Bruno.
Was that really the first one?
Yeah, it's the first one.
That's right, it is because it comes before Black Sabbath. I'm just stupid.
Like 1v1s, 1v2s, whatever. And then you get in SBR, you got like the Boom Boom family. I mean, I count.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's really Oyakomova.
But then in terms of the first like part 8, you have fun with Josuke and Yasuo. With this one, you have like 4 main characters.
The cat, Rohan, Jodio, Dragona, Paco, Usagi. That's 6.
We have the most main characters of like protagonists. Sorry, like main protagonist characters involved in a stand fight. This has been the most involved in the first arc, which I just thought that was an interesting detail. I don't really see the Mate Kudasai being like. Again, I'm gonna get proven wrong. Araki's gonna find some whack ass shit to do with them. We're like, wow, this stand's great. But for right now, I mean, I could see the others being cool in fights, like November Rain, Smooth Operators, and the Hustle. The Hustle specifically, I'm looking forward to. But with the Mate Kudasai, it can only, as far as we know, with all of its abilities. I mean, unless it has more abilities, the shape change one, or like how it can like copy something, it can only do it if someone else wants it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting, I think, to see Smooth Operators and Mate Kudasai's offensive capabilities. I'm not really concerned about the Hustle being an offensive stand. I'm kind of worried about its ceiling. I don't think it's going to scale terribly well into later fights. But Paco's probably going to die at the halfway point, so I guess that point doesn't matter. November Rain obviously is going to be a spin stand.
Well, hold on. With the Hustle, what if it allowed him to still physically, like, it being like just all around his body, he could interact physically with stands, and like the muscle contraction stuff would allow him to like fist fight other stands.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, at that point, it's just kind of a worse Scary Monsters, and like Scary Monsters scales really well to late game.
We'll have to see,
I just don't see the Hustle scaling terribly well into late game, especially with how Araki wrote stands in JOJOLian. And looking at Scary Monsters fights specifically, where it was more like fights, and there weren't very many fights in JoJoland, and that's probably going to continue into JoJoLands, which isn't a bad thing. At all. It's just the question of what is a power type stand's effectiveness in the modern era. Because you have soft and wet, but soft and wet has plunder, and plunder is stupid. Trevor and I were talking about that today. All the stupid things that plunder can do. Plunder's like, broken. I love soft and wet so much.
I love when he goes beyond the limits of plundering.
That's true. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see their offensive capabilities, how they get themselves out of this one.
Look, I just want to know what November Rain does specifically. Okay, Hiraki,
it's a spin stand. It's a spin stand.
No, not even that. Like, because whatever. Soft and wet's a spin stand. Oh, it didn't happen. It's like
It is a spin stand. Soft and wet is a spin objectively.
It is. No, what I'm saying is, like, when we first got introduced to it, and throughout majority of the story, it was just, it makes bubbles, and those bubbles plunder. Like, I want to know what Araki's wording of it is before he inevitably turns it into this thing every raindrop is the equivalent of a Go Beyond. Which would be terrifying.
Cannot wait for November Rain to solo Wonder of You. Easy, no diff.
Like easily. Yeah, so that's what I want to know. Like, what is its actual wording right now? Because it's going to probably inevitably be a spin stand 10 years from now, but right now, in the moment, I want to know what it's going to do for like 95% of the part.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I just need that JoJo line of November Rain, its ability is, and he just says it, and the internet can go, yes, we can finally start power scaling it for some reason.
That's so true. November Rain is the weakest base Joestar stand.
He says before Rocky gives it like Tusk X7 capabilities.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, all in all, this was an interesting chapter. It was just, again, a bit of a slower one, just more of the setup, I'd say. Not a bad chapter by any means.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you're this far in the video, obviously there's something you like, so make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us if you think the cat is the user, a decoy, or the stand. And we will see you all next month with more the JoJoLands. We'll see you all then. Bye-bye.
Bye.